Welcome back to Whitt Acres. Today we're starting phase 1 of saving Mumbles Pond. We have a gorgeous day here today with a high in the upper 90s and a real feel of 111 right now. We have the birds out swimming in Mumbles Pond trying to stay cool. Ron is actually still separated. I just gave them some fresh water in their pool so they could still cool down. And I think I'll get Ron and his flock out here in the evening. I just didn't want them out here all day. Ron and Dabbles had a scuffle over DD, and I just want them to settle down before getting them back together. And Hermione and Graybell still have a limp, so I don't want them running around in the field all day either. Old Mumbles is coming. She must have heard me talking. The pond is open, girl. Mumbles coming down. She doesn't want to miss a good float. Come on down, Mumbles. Gates open. And we're going to be working on the water today. Mumbles. Go ahead and trot on out here. You good goose. Getting all excited, go down and float. Now the reason we need to try and save Mumbles Pond is because I ended up adding the wrong type of lime whenever I was trying to make it better. Oh, the geyser. Gorgeous. And the reason I put the lime in there was to help clear up the water from the clay particles floating all around. Go ahead in, Mumbles. And even though I added the wrong lime, it still had an effect of grabbing the clay particles and taking them to the bottom. The problem was, it was not healthy for the fish. So the pond water clarity is doing a little bit better, but the quality is not where it needs to be. Oh, there she goes. Recognize that tail feather anywhere. I'll be out in a minute, Mumbles. Now, fortunately, I have the most generous subscribers on YouTube, and this pump was sent in a little while ago because I had a plan for a different feature, but I think it's going to work great for this. I also grabbed some old hose that I had lying around, and I checked, and it does fit this perfect. And then I picked up some extra hose for another reason, and I did buy an extension cord here that I think we're going to need. And some rope too. But this is a corded pump, it's not solar, so we are going to have to plug this in. And if you've been following along, you know we don't have electric out at Mumbles Pond yet. We've been running extension cords from the house and running some solar pumps out there just to keep the water flowing. But if you remember last year, whenever we put the water and electric in the ditch out to the barn, we also wired off and sent a line down to the vegetable garden. So the vegetable garden has water and we already have that plumbed up, but it also has a wire ran over there to get electric hooked up. And once we have electric available down in the vegetable garden, we'll be able to run shorter extension cords out to Mumbles Pond. And that's exactly what I got hooked up the other day, in the sun. Pup. So I'm going to throw you back, get you all caught up with that part of the project, and then we're going to build off of that and make Mumbles Pond even better. Camera overheated, had to take a break. Hey Mav, how you doing? You find any bunnies out there? You gotta come into the pond to stay cool? Come into the shade, bud. I know it's a hot one out there. Mumbles heading back up. No, don't take the freshly mowed path, girl. Go through the high weeds. You bird. Alright, now that we have electric hooked up down at the vegetable garden, we'll be able to move the extension cords that we have hooked up to the house down to the vegetable garden. And it's also going to give us a little bit more length on the cords that I'll be able to move the fountain that we have out there. Right now, the only thing that we have plugged in is the little 2-tier fountain, and I'm thinking about moving that to the back side of Goose Egg Island. Because my plan for this pump, which is 1,000 gallons per hour, is to put it onto the waterfall on Goose Egg Island. If we can have this pump running all the time on Goose Egg Island, that's going to mix a lot more water, and it's also going to keep that feature alive even when the sun's not out. And right now it's powered by an 800 gallon per hour solar pump. And it is moving some water. But I think it's going to be better if we can get the 1,000 gallons per hour running all the time on the Goose Egg Island waterfall, and then whenever the sun comes out, that will just add to the waterfall and just make it even better during the day. So we need to get this one out there, and I think I can hang it from the same basketball we're hanging the other pump from. And I think it's a little more than one hose to make it over to the island, so I'll probably have to add that second one to it. And then I'll probably have to get a third one to extend the other pump that I have, because I do want to get that ball a little bit further away from the wall. That pink ball should be a little bit further into the water so it doesn't suck any mud from the side. And I also need to try and re-inflate that yellow ball back there. So we're going to be moving some pumps around to increase the water circulation on Mumbles Pond, but we're also going to be adding a new pump to increase the water flow as well. But that's not all that Mumbles Pond is going to need, so we're definitely going to have a phase 2, so make sure to subscribe down below to follow along with the whole process of saving Mumbles Pond. We are going to need to add aeration out there, but to do that, we're going to need electric first. It's a process. Huh, pup, you ready to go in the sun? To the blueberry! Oh, hold on, pup. We're gonna need this block here. Been saving it just for a good reason like this. Ugh. Huh, pup. We're gonna have to do a garden walk here soon. Things are looking nice. All right, let's go ahead and make sure this works first and plug the fountain back in. No fountain. Fountain. Gorgeous. We have power in the vegetable garden, pup. And now we have a lot of slack extension cord. We can move the fountain out even further. Pup. Alright, we're trying to keep the GoPro in the shade today because it's 110 out in the sun. Come on, Pop. We're trying to keep you in the shade too. But we got the extension cord ran out there, and it's definitely long enough to move the fountain behind Goose Egg Island. Now, to move the fountain, we are going to have to untie it from the depth gauge, and we're going to have to do that by boat. Come on, Pop. Load up. To the tail feather. I think I'm gonna have to put an anchor out there and tie that to a rope. Tie a rope to this and drop an anchor in the middle to keep it where I want it. So, back to the tail feather. Right about here, just got to figure out how deep we are. We'll get this figured out. Trying to get to the right spot. Down there, pup. You got an anchor. Got that part done, pup. Yeah. Taking on water, pup. Taking on water. Pup. The water is warm. Anchors away, pup. Anchors away. Let me plug it back in. Don't float away, pup. Like nice. on, pup. Maverick. Come on, Mav. I think I am gonna need this. Getting wet for this one. Something touched my foot. Perfect. Puppy, I just spooked a big old frog out of here and he jumped in the boat. He's looking at you right in the eyes, puppy. Oh, just one good jump, bud, and you'll be out of the boat. I'll help you in a minute. I gotta get this waterfall put back together. If you're still in there when I'm done, I'll help you. Pop. Pup, we got the second hose hooked up here for the second pump, and now we can pump twice as much water here to the island falls. Pup. All right, now we just have to get the frog out of the boat. Hey buddy, you ready to go? I have things to do today. Can I get you to jump this way? Oh, there he goes. That'll work. All right, now I'm gonna head back over to the vegetable garden, plug in the extension cord for this pump, and we can watch the waterfalls turn back on, even when the sun goes down. Pop. And the sun is going down. Climbing aboard. Life. Ugh. There we go, Pop. Good boy. You look so good in the boat. All right, let's pull this out of here. And we're gonna head back to shore and turn this waterfall on. Everything's looking good from down here. And all the air should get out of the hose once the water turns on. Pup. And the water's not looking too bad here. Kind of have a little green tinge. I'm wondering if we're getting some algae to grow. The water is warm though. It's not that hard to believe with a few days here in the hundreds. So I still want to get some more circulation out here, but this is definitely going to help. Pop. Hopefully we have enough space here. Looks a little tight. We got power. And we got water flowing. Now we are going to have to do a trench here from the garden gate entrance over to the corner of the pond dam for Mumbles Pond so we can get electric out there. And my brother did give me a scrap piece of wire I was hoping I was going to be able to use, but I stretched it out here and I think I ended up like 4 feet short. Once I get this down in the ditch, I'm not going to be able to reach all the way across the access road to the dam. So that is a little unfortunate. It fell just a couple feet short of where I needed to put it here. So I think I am gonna have to buy some wire this week so we can get electric out here to Mumbles Pond. And I'm hoping my brother's gonna be able to bring home a ditch witch to do this project. It's the same machine that we did the other ditches with, and it's gonna make it a lot easier to get this wire laid. Now I might have to make some tweaking over here to see more water flow, but we do have water flowing, and that's gonna help circulate water here for Mumbles Pond. And it's also gonna help add oxygen to the pond as well. But I would like to see a little bit more flow out of that. Maybe I just need to get the air out of the line. Now we should be getting more flow from the pump that we put on here just now, because that's 1,000 gallons per hour, and the solar pump, even at full sunlight, is only 800 gallons per hour. And that looks a little light right now, but I think we just have air in the line. We're gonna have to boat back out there and try and get the air out of the line and see if that helps. To the blueberry. Load up. Good boy. To the tail feather. about it. Coming home, Pop. Well, phase 1 to fixing Mumbles Pond went mostly to plan. I was able to get electric hooked up in the vegetable garden so we can move the extension cords out a little bit further, save about 100 feet from the house. And that allowed us to move the 2-tier fountain to the back of the pond and add a little bit more feature back there, but also get some more water flowing. And I think that's going to work out just fine. But also we added a new pump that was sent in previously, and we got 1,000 gallons per hour now running 24/7 on Mumbles Pond, helping cycle the water. And it's also hooked up right next to the solar pump, so whenever the sun is shining, we'll have twice as much water flowing over there to the falls. And I might have to do some tweaking to get the water to flow the best, but at least we have water flowing right now, and it's adding oxygen to the pond 24/7. And I'm not entirely sure why the hose is not sinking. I think we just have some air bubbles in there, and I have to try and work those out. But I thought I pushed it low enough, and we weren't able to get those bubbles out, so I think I just need to mess with it some more. But we are running out of daylight here, and I need to start closing up the barns. Hump up. But as I mentioned this morning in the July barn opening video, this was the first day that we came out to the pond and we didn't have a dead fish floating. So I'm going to take that as a good sign and say we're on our way to a healthier pond. Now we still have some work to do to get electric out to Mumbles Pond so we can use it right here on the bank. And I do want to move the 2 solar pumps on the bucket falls and get them further away from where the water's falling into the pond, but I ended up having to use the extra pipe on this one. So I'm going to have to get another pipe from Lowe's so we can extend the other one too. And once we get those pumps spread out a little bit, that'll help circulate the water even better. And then once the electric is out here, we can get an aerator hooked up. There's just only so much we can do on days this hot. Hump up. It's a process. But alright guys, that's going to be all for this one. There's still more to do here, so if you want to keep following along with everything here at Whitt Acres, make sure to subscribe down below, hit that like button before you leave, and you can see me and Echo on the next one. Thanks for watching. Good boy.